In this class, I am going to discuss a very important topic from Indian Constitution. We will discuss what is meant by an independent judiciary and how independence of judiciary is secured or protected. Let us first see what is judiciary. What do we mean by judiciary? We know that there are three branches or organs of government to make sure that there is a separation of powers and no organ has too much power. The three branches are the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. So, judiciary is one of the three organs of the government. Judiciary has got a very important function to perform. Judiciary acts as the interpreter of the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land, and it acts as the guardian and protector of the Constitution of India. Judiciary also acts as the protector and guardian of the fundamental rights and freedoms of the people. Alright then, let us now understand what is meant by independence of judiciary. Independence of judiciary basically means that both the legislature and the executive branches of the government cannot interfere with the functions and decisions of the judiciary. So how do we ensure that the legislature and the executive do not interfere with the functions and decisions of the judiciary? At this point, the need for separation of powers arises. Article 50 of our Constitution says that the state shall take steps to separate the judiciary from the executive. Thus, Article 50 puts an obligation over the state to separate the judiciary from the executive. For the judiciary to be independent, it is also necessary that the judges of the High Courts and the Supreme Court must be appointed without any influence and interference from the other branches of the government. So, we have understood what is meant by independence of judiciary. Let us now move to our next segment, that is how independence of judiciary is secured in India. As you can see, the first point is security of tenure. Tenure means the period of time during which someone holds a position or office. The judges in India have a fixed tenure, which means that they function as judge for a fixed period of time. They hold their office until they reach the age of retirement, which is 65 years. The judges can be removed from their office only in exceptional cases. The Constitution provides for a very difficult procedure for removal of judges. Thus, we can see that the judges in India have a fixed tenure, and when their tenure is secured, they can function without fear or favor. Having said that, let us now understand what is the method of removal of judges in India. The judges in India can be removed only on the ground of proven misbehavior or incapacity. Judges can be removed by impeachment, although the word impeachment has not been mentioned in the Constitution. Article 124 Clause 4 lays down the procedure for removal of Supreme Court judges. Article 124 Clause 4 says that a judge of the Supreme Court shall not be removed from his office except by an order of the President passed after an address by each House of Parliament, supported by a majority of the total membership of that House and by a majority of not less than 2/3 of the members of that House present and voting, has been presented to the President in the same session for such removal on the ground of proved misbehavior or incapacity. So, the President can remove a Supreme Court judge after a motion for the removal of the Supreme Court judge has been passed by both the houses of the Parliament by special majority. This means that, firstly, the motion for removal of a Supreme Court judge has to be passed by each house of the Parliament, that is, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha separately, by a majority of the total membership of the House, which means that more than 50% of the members of the House must vote in favor of the motion, and secondly, 2/3 majority of members present and voting must vote in favor of the motion, which means that on the day of voting, 2/3 of the members of the House must be present and voting, and a majority of these 2/3 members must vote in favor of the motion. Let's now see what salary and allowances are given to judges. The judiciary in India is not financially dependent on either the executive or the legislature. The salaries and allowances of Supreme Court judges, pensions of Supreme Court judges as well as High Court judges are charged on the Consolidated Fund of India. During their term of office, their salaries and allowances cannot be altered to their disadvantage, which means that the salaries and allowances cannot be reduced except in situations of grave financial emergency. Earlier, the Chief Justice of India and every other judge of the Supreme Court used to draw a monthly salary of Rs 1 lakh and Rs 90,000 respectively. The High Court and Supreme Court judges' Salaries and Conditions of Service Amendment Act 2018 revised the salaries of the judges. Accordingly, the new salary of the Chief Justice of India is Rs 2.8 lakhs per month, up from Rs 1 lakh, and the other judges of the Supreme Court and Chief Justices of the High Courts now draw a monthly salary of Rs 2.5 lakhs, up from Rs 90,000. Our next point is power of the courts to punish for contempt. The actions and decisions of the judges are immune from criticisms, and the judiciary has the power to penalize those who are found guilty of contempt of court. Contempt of court means being disrespectful or disobedient towards the court, which means willfully disobeying the order of the court and disrespecting the legal authorities. In such a case, a judge may impose sanctions such as fine or jail for someone found guilty of contempt of court. A very recent case of contempt of court is the case of Justice Karnan, a retired Indian judge. He was a former Calcutta High Court judge. In May 2017, he was sent to a prison in Kolkata by the Supreme Court, holding him guilty of contempt of court. He is the first sitting High Court judge in India to face a jail term. The last point for today is prohibition on practice after retirement. The judges of the Supreme Court and High Court receive good pensions and they are not permitted to practice as lawyers after their retirement. In our Constitution, Article 124 Clause 7 and Article 220 deal with the regulation of post-retirement practice of Supreme Court and High Court judges respectively. Article 124 Clause 7 says that a retired judge of the Supreme Court cannot appear before any court or any authority within the territory of India. So, a retired Supreme Court judge cannot practice in any court in India, which means the end of his legal practice. Article 220 says that a retired High Court judge cannot practice in lower courts and the same High Court from which he has been retired in India. Now, what is the need for such prohibition? Such prohibition is made so that the judges do not favor anyone in the hope of future favor. For example, influential people who could provide them any office of profit after retirement. There are two more important points in this topic. One relates to the appointment of the judges and the other relates to the power of judicial review. Both these points need to be discussed in detail, which we shall do in some other class. Hope you have understood the points that we discussed today.